Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Chris from Ireland in the UK. So let's see what Chris has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, how are you, Chris?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks so much. Right, before we start the game, just tell me where are you from?
I am. It's a lovely question, actually. I'm from all over the place, actually. I currently live in Ireland, in Donegal. But beforehand, I was raised in the United States, and my parents had moved me back and forth for a long time before settling in Ireland. My whole family is all Irish and from Ireland and lives in Ireland. My parents just got a little adventurous.
That's interesting. So your parents, they are American?
No, my whole family's Irish, like born and bred Irish. It's just, they moved to America for a while with me and wanted to just kind of live the American lifestyle for a while.
I see. And which part in America? Which city?
Long Island, New York.
And you still go sometimes there, or you're well settled now with Donegal?
I'm mostly settled in Ireland. I wouldn't really visit America very often. It's just so expensive, and I don't have any family or friends really over there. I have some, but not enough to visit very often.
I see. And what do you do for a living?
Currently, I work as a team manager for a quality assurance team. So we just check and make sure that boxes are checked in the right places and that everything's spelled correctly.
And what do you like the most about your job?
Currently, I love, as weird as it sounds, the responsibility. I only recently got this role, and having a higher level role where people trust you and innately kind of make you feel really proud of yourself, especially from someone who's worked retail for so much of his life.
I see. Okay, and before we start the game, William and the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me just something, let's say, interesting about yourself. Tell me something interesting.
Something interesting. Okay. It's a funny one in a way. I'm colorblind. Very mild colorblindness, but so many of my friends love to tease me about it all the time, including my fiance, who routinely asks me, "What color is that, dear?" whenever I look at something blue or green or red.
oh, that's funny. The other day I had a guest as well on the show, and he's not full colorblind, but I think there's blue and red that he cannot see, and he was telling me a little bit about it as well. I found it quite interesting. I didn't know that. So you have different colors, or just few of them?
It would be similar to the person you were just talking about. I have red-green colorblindness, but that sometimes affects my ability to determine like blues and purples. It's like different shades become difficult to tell the difference between.
I see. And you always had that?
Yep, always.
I see. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, Chris. So welcome to William and the Magic Box. Here my lovely box full of random fun questions. Okay, so just before we start again, I'm just gonna put a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. You ready?
All right, let me just shake everything out.
Yes, get everything ready, relax, like it's a little workout. And by the way, when I pick the question, if there is any question you don't have an answer for, you don't want to answer, I always can change and get another one. Okay, it's all very friendly and chilled. Okay, there's no pressure. All right?
Thank you.
Let's do it. Great, I'm glad that you like dancing. I'm glad. I'm just gonna put a little bit more louder so I can see that you like dancing, so it can help me.
Dancing is a really generous way of putting what I do.
Right, so let's go for the first question. The first question is, what is something you always want to do but you're scared of?
Ooh, something I always want to do that I'm scared of. Skateboarding. I've always, I tried when I was younger, but it's kind of, it's the fear of falling. I've tried surfing and I love surfing, but the water is there to catch you when you fall. with skateboarding, you fall and you face plant, it's gonna be a bit of a rough ride the next day.
You never tried before?
Years ago when I was a kid, very young, but even then it was a little daunting because there wasn't any skate parks, and it's the countryside, so it's all rough roads, and you get like one like meter cubed square of fresh pavement, and that's it.
Good one, very good. Next question. Let's do it. Right, Chris, before the next question, tell me what's the most interesting part of living in Donegal, and what is the most challenging part in your opinion?
The most interesting thing of Donegal is the geography, the scenery. It's a beautiful county with so much green and so many beautiful vistas. But it also has, because of that, one of the biggest challenges is transport. We don't have a lot of transport in our county, so you're mostly able to get around the county through if you have a car. So anyone who doesn't drive, there's some buses, but it really doesn't help a lot because they're very infrequent, not dependable, expensive, and it kind of hurts the tourism industry as well up here, because we love our county and we love showing it off, but it's hard to show it off to tourists when you have to tell them, and here's a 4-hour bus.
And how far is Donegal from Dublin?
That's a 4-hour bus drive.
Okay, so it's not very, very close.
Not quite. I actually was living in Dublin until recently as well, until the pandemic. So I moved back to save money.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And how long you're living there for?
In Dublin, about 6 years.
Oh, okay. I've been Dublin once, and I remember it's been like more than 10 years now. I was recently living in London, and I remember I was working in a restaurant with, and we had a group of 3 friends. So it was 2 girls and 2 guys, me and another friend. And I remember it was February, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, be careful because it's gonna be very cold, rainy, it's worse than London. It's gonna be always like that." I was like, "Okay, so you go prepared." I'll tell you something now. It was very, very warm. Everyone was like, "Wow, how could you you're so lucky." It was so warm, like very, very warm over there. And I remember Temple Bar, everything. I remember like asking information about the place. Everyone was like, "You know where Temple Bar is?" And I was like, "Yes." So everything people give information about Temple Bar was kind of the point to explain us where to go. It was quite interesting.
Yeah, Temple Bar it's got a lot to see, but it's also probably the priciest district in Dublin because everyone goes there. Well, yeah, it's kind of funny. We up in Donegal, we always complain about Dublin getting better weather.
And I realized as well that the Brazilian community there is quite big, and there are so many people from the south of Brazil. Actually, I remember walking around the street and I saw some people talking Portuguese from Brazil, and I was like, "Oh my God, they look European." So because in south of Brazil, a lot of people there. If you go to south of Brazil, you feel like in Europe. Yeah, most of the people they have these European traces, even though it's colder as well in other parts in Brazil. It's a lot of like immigrants from Europe. They immigrate to the south of Brazil. So when you travel to the south, you feel like in Europe. So yeah, I met a few Brazilian people in Dublin, and they were from the south. That was quite interesting. And they told me as well there are a lot of people there. Most of them they are from the south. It was interesting.
I didn't realize that so much of the community was specifically from the south. Brazil. I didn't realize there was like a distinction. Not distinction, but I didn't realize that there were so many from the south.
Yeah. Right, let's get another question for you. Who is your biggest hero?
My biggest hero? Honestly, that's not a question I ever really think of. Like, ironically, with a bunch of all these superhero tattoos on my arm, I don't have any kind of a personal hero as such. Actually, if I had to pick someone, I would say Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera as well, just because of the huge work they did in LGBT history and activism. Like a lot of people know the name Marsha P. Johnson, but Sylvia Rivera was also a huge part of that. And yeah, it's amazing to have seen like not only the work, but the strength, I guess, like the fact that they stood in the face of so much with like fearless, and then at the same time had nothing to lose, but it's still just it's the actions that launched 1,000 ships, and whilst there was so much activism before that, it's just a poignant part of history for queer people.
Yes, it's interesting you saying that, because I was doing a shoot the other day, and someone asked me this question in the end. What's my take, my point of view regarding the LGBTQ, you know what I mean, around the world right now? And I was telling him that when you look back, like in the 80s and the 70s, I think nowadays we still have a lot to, you know what I mean, to stand up for ourselves, but compared with the past, I think those people, they, you know what I mean, they embraced it, they were there, and I think we are in a better place now because of those people, because they face it, you know what I mean? They were there for us, like, and now when you look back, it's like, my God, those people, they were very brave at the time, because it was even tougher, even more difficult to, you know what I mean, to deal with that, you know what I mean, to be ourselves at the time. And I think we are very lucky, there's still a lot to do, there's still a big steps to be done, but I think we are in a better place right now, more protected because of those, you know what I mean, people in the past.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, protection has kind of given so many people a fear of losing out by speaking out, which is it's a double-edged sword in a way, because whilst we've come so far, there's still people in all generations of the community who want to stop where they are and don't want to push the bar forward anymore, because they're scared. They're scared that things will turn again, and that they'll have spoken out and they'll be the next on the way out. But it is important that these bars are always pushed, because we always have to act like we could lose it all at any point.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. Great one. Next question. Let's do it. Right, next question for you, Chris. What does love mean to you?
Love. Oh, wow. Love means a lot of things. Patience. It means understanding. Trust. For me, it's this knowledge that the person that I can count on is always going to be there. Like this faith that every time I take a leap of trust, I will always be caught. That there's going to be like no point in my life where I have to be afraid to speak my mind or share my feelings or be as weird as I possibly want to be.
And do you believe that there are different kinds of love?
Oh yes, always. There's love is different for everyone. Everyone has a different relationship with love. You have platonic, you have romantic, you have passions, you have everything. Love is a very large word.
Totally agree. I agree with you. And all this different kind of love always come from a very good place, very beautiful place, genuine place.
Yes, always.
Always. Next question, Chris from Ireland. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, tell me a little bit about your tattoos and how old were you when you had the first one?
So, my tattoos. So my first tattoo I had was when I was 21. I got a tattoo on my chest here, and it was it's of a symbol from an anime. I've always been a hardcore nerd, loving my cartoons, my TV shows, all of it. And then when I was older, I decided I wanted to have a sleeve. I always loved them, but I didn't want to go the traditional route and get a sleeve that everyone had. I wanted something colorful, was a big thing for me. So I settled on getting symbols of every superhero that I love. Not every superhero that I love. There's so much more as well. But I wanted to kind of stay together. So all this arm is just DC Comics superheroes, and whilst I love like every comic imprint, Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, all of them, I just found that these symbols were just aesthetically pleasing to me. But yeah, so a big thing was that I loved comics and superheroes growing up. I think a lot of young men who were a little different and outcasts found themselves drawn to Batman and Superman and all these different superheroes growing up. And when I was older, I finally had the opportunity to buy comics, and I mean much older. I was in my early 20s when I finally was able to find a comic book shop and people who shared my interests, which unlocked the interest in comics to another level, because not only became a thing that I loved for myself, it became a thing I loved because I could share it with these friends I had made. So superheroes and comics kind of have a surface level meaning to me, obviously, but they are also this link I have to a growth in my life where I was able to kind of come out a bit more and talk to people who I felt were my equal, my peer, and would like me and not shove me away for having weird interests. So
very good. I had interviewed someone in America as well. He shared the same joy as you about the superheroes, and actually sometimes he dressed up as well, some of the superheroes, and he got his comic books as well. He's always posts online, and actually today I'm gonna edit his interview because he's gonna go in a few weeks. He's gonna go live his interview, so I'm gonna edit this evening his interview. Already organized the other side. It was quite interesting. He was talking a lot about those superheroes. He was talking about how, and I'm not sure if he got some tattoos as well. I don't remember now, but yeah, he got some. He dressed up sometimes with his partner as well. They go around with those festivals or something with all the comics superhero. It was very interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun dressing up.
Great. Next question for you is, Chris, if you won the lottery, what would be your first big splurge?
Oh, okay. So in a totally wild spending spree, I would buy a house. It's the one thing you're told not to do when you win the lotto, but it's the one thing I will do because rules be darned. I would pay off the mortgage on my dad's house. I just, in this time, and coming from as someone who wants to live in Dublin, having a home is a big part of my future that I want. I want to have that security and comfort and that kind of time to start my life for a change, instead of living rental to rental and worrying about being kicked out for someone putting a thumbtack in the wall. So yeah, a house, as crazy as it sounds, but in that house I will build a library. Like, I will have a nice, beautiful library if I'm buying a house.
I can't wait to come to visit you to see this in the future. I can't wait, because I'm sure you're gonna get it. Can't wait.
I'll just keep doing those scratch cards.
For sure. Next question. Next question for you, Chris. What would be your ideal day?
My ideal day. Surprisingly, getting up early and going to the gym is the start of my day, because I already know that puts me in a good mood, and it means for the rest of the day I won't feel like I'm not being productive. And then following it up with making overly ambitious breakfast of like pancakes and fried food and everything, and then passing out for an hour nap on the couch, go with cartoons in the background, and then I guess playing some games, doing some reading, and of course baking something that I like, something big and delicious, and decorating it later in the evening, and then also cooking something really fun.
That's nice. You always been a day person?
No, actually I'm not. I'm actually, like, the thing is, that's why the gym's the important part of the start is because I'm usually a night person, but if I start my day in the gym, I am awake. That's it. Like, I'll probably end up still staying up till 4 in the morning after that. Healthy.
I see. Next question. Let's do it. Right. Before the next question, tell me your top 3 favorite superhero cartoon from the cartoons. Your 3 top 1.
Okay, 3 top superhero cartoons. And number 3, Batman the Animated Series. Was a huge part of not only comic book history but also animation history, because it launched an entire wave of young fans into superheroes. It's well loved across everyone. Everyone remembers Batman the Animated Series. Number 2, X-Men. X-Men the '90s series. It was so amazing, and again, as a lot of people know, like X-Men was a huge. It's still on the fence of whether it was meant to be or intentionally a metaphor for queer people in the closet, because the whole idea of being mutant and no one knowing and you could hide and all that stuff, and the persecution, that was just a big thing. So when you're like a kid growing up, you're kind of keying in on these little things a little bit, but then watching someone shoot fireworks out of their hand and laser beams out of their eyes, that's always going to be cool. And then my top 1 has always been Static Shock. So it was a Warner Brothers cartoon. It was pretty popular because it crossed over with Justice League cartoon and all these different ones. But it was really amazing. This young kid who African American kid in Dakota, and he gains electrical powers, and he's just amazing all around because he's not. The one thing I loved about him so much was that he wasn't a superhero because of tragic backstory or forced responsibility. It was because, like so many young kids like at my age, you just wanted to be a superhero. He wanted to do something good with his powers, and he did it. And he was smart, he was funny, he was creative, and it was an amazing show. And I loved learning more and more about him because he came from a comic book company called Milestone, who were launched in order to represent more minorities in comics at the time, because there was such a huge influx of white male superheroes in Marvel and DC. So this company, started by a few independents, were like, no, we're gonna make other superheroes so everyone's represented, and they did so well that this DC Comics bought them out. But yeah, no, an amazing series. I recommend it to everyone as well.
Very good. You say about being a child, how much imagination. I remember my dad is a truck driver. Sometimes I was traveling with him sometimes when I was a child. And I remember I was sitting in the passenger seat, and I remember he was driving like through those beautiful trees, through the forest. Do you know what I was imagining? Oh my God, I haven't thought that about so long. He was driving normal, and this wind, like through the window, I was looking the window, and like I pretend that I had a superpower, that I was just put my hand like that, and in my imagination I had like someone really bad, like destroying all those trees and everything, and I was just in the back, just make it look nice, like just touch my hand, like look nice and green again. I remember that now. My God, I haven't thought about that for so long.
I did the same as a kid. I used to always like imagine superhero fights as I was driving. We were driving through the countryside. I just imagined in my head going.
It's amazing, isn't it? How we can like imagine and go in a different world, isn't it? It's just amazing. Next question is, what's your idea of a perfect friendship?
Perfect friendship, okay. I guess a perfect friendship isn't too far from love, to be honest. What I said before, the same kind of tenets about understanding and being, accounting on someone. But I think as well, friendship, there's like a level of adventure always there. Because with friendship, it's not you're both leading 2 different lives at all times, and every so often they get to intersect, and you get to have a 2 a.m. call with a cup of tea, giving out about how someone did something super stupid at work, and it's just somehow always therapeutic and hilarious. But yeah, no, there's there's always that thing as well, of just kind of being able to kind of count on someone as a friend, and knowing that no matter how much distance or time goes apart, that when you talk to each other again, you're just going to be the same as you always were. You like, it's just like as if no time has gone, and you're just catching up and giving the gossip.
And your close friends, they live in the same city as you, or they live spread around some parts in Ireland?
Spread around. I have friends here. I have friends in other parts of the country, other parts of Europe as well. Like I have a few friends in the US as well. So pretty spread out.
Very good, very good. I believe friends as well, friendship, some like very best friends. We don't choose best friends. It's a chemistry there, you know what I mean? We don't go like, okay, I'm gonna choose you as my best friend. It doesn't work like that. They come naturally to you. The chemistry it's about relationships or love as well. When it's there, it's there. You don't choose it. It just comes naturally to you. They just the path cross, and the chemistry is there. That's what I believe as well about friendship.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah.
Next question, Chris. What's one movie you could watch over and over again?
Ooh, a movie I could watch over and over again. I never really like watching movies over and over again, but I love watching so many Disney films over and over again. Just because there's always something you can appreciate differently. Like Beauty and the Beast is a huge classic that I always loved, or Hunchback of Notre Dame, two top ones for me. I can always appreciate like small things in language that I didn't understand as a kid, like small little language puns that there would be, or the arts work that would be done, and understanding like how much more work actually goes into it now more than I did as a kid. And just the whole themes and plots and everything, and how much more serious things were in the terms of the plot versus how the risks were presented as a child, which is just so much fun. So those two, I know it's more than one, but those two would be like the ones I would watch all the time.
And for example, like during Christmas time, there is like any movie during Christmas that you think like, okay, it's a must, like you need to watch it. There is any?
For Christmas, I do have a few Christmas traditions. There's always A Nightmare Before Christmas at some point, because it's an amazing film. There's also this other little known one that I love. It's called Make the Yuletide Gay. And it's this little indie film about this couple going to their individual homes for Christmas, and one of them isn't out to his family as gay. And when he goes home, his partner arrives on the doorstep to surprise him at his family's house when he's not out. So it's a comedy as well. It's a little Wisconsin household, and there's all these little fun, just awkward moments, but it's positive, it's fun, and it's a little heartwarming Christmas film that I always love.
Very good. Good one. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, tell me, as you said that you've got a fiance, tell me what's the most beautiful lesson you learned from your fiance?
Oh, this is an easy one. It's one that he routinely reminds me of all the time. It's okay to not be okay. Like I used to have a huge hang up about being upset about things or coming to anyone about my feelings. I always felt like I had to work it out on my own, and I had to, logic it out, justify it, pack it up in a bag and throw it in the back of the van. But with him, he has constantly reminded me every time that he will drag it out of me in the most positive way of like, just tell me what's wrong, and he will listen. And I've grown from that. I've grown from being able to learn how to talk about my feelings, and I've learned to recognize some of the not bad behaviors, but the toxic behaviors that had impacted me in my previous relationships that had caused me to do these things, to withhold my feelings. So yeah, that is like the key lesson I've learned from him, is like, it's okay to not be okay.
Totally agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. I heard that once as well. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, told me that once a while ago. And it's good to hear that, isn't it? Sometimes it's fine. It's good to be not okay. It's part of the journey. I think it's, and even though sometimes if you kind of know that, but when you listen to it, it's kind of a reminder and it kind of puts you in the right direction.
Yeah, and it's that thing that we all, I think a lot of us have growing up, is this guilt of talking about our feelings, and we feel like we're burdening others when we do. But it was great to have that taken from me, and be able to be open about my feelings, and knowing that it's okay to have them.
Yeah, great.
So,
next question is, what makes you most uncomfortable about yourself?
ooh, most comfortable with myself. Sure, I've gotten quite comfortable with myself. I guess I still do get a little comfortable when I get upset, but mostly when I get angry. I don't like getting angry about things, and mostly because I always worry that I'm overreacting. Luckily, it doesn't happen very often, but I think that would be the one thing that I feel most uncomfortable about myself, is how I act when I am not in full control of my emotions. And my behaviors, essentially. That's kind of one of the reasons I don't like drinking anyway. I don't drink alcohol because I hate the idea of ever having that full and total capacity of myself.
Okay, very good, very good. Next question for you, Chris. Right, did you always have the support of your family being gay?
Yeah, actually I did. It was funny. I, like everyone does, worry before they come out. I had made a whole plan. I set a date. I made a strict this is my cutoff period. I have to do it then. And I was talking to my parent family. We were all in the living room, and I told them I needed to talk, and they're like, "Okay, can we wait for the commercials?" Yeah, and my brother and sister were sent out of the room. I was rocking back and forth in an armchair, about to throw up from nervousness, and I came out to them, and as my dad said, "You're what?" And I panicked. I was like, and the problem was he had just woken up and just didn't hear me.
I see.
So he genuinely was asking me, "You're what?" because he didn't know what I said, and after that, he immediately went, "Oh, all right then."
I see.
My parents were very nonchalant about the whole thing, which was great, and even my grandmother's been super supportive. And I have extended family that I don't talk to too much anyway, in general. So their opinions on it, I'm not entirely certain, but the people the most important and closest to me are all super supportive.
Very interesting. I think all of us, gay people, we always had these moments, of coming out, or you know what I mean, or even just trying to explain yourself regarding being gay. And I had a guest on the show, and this guest told me I found very interesting story, very creative as well. He has a brother, and they're Americans, so they were traveling Christmas. So they have just one brother and their parents. So they were traveling during Christmas. Every year they were going somewhere else, was their treat around Christmas time. And they had a rule between them to have just to buy a gift. $10 was the maximum. They couldn't spend more than $10. Yeah. And this guest, he was telling me about very fascinating. So what he did, he put 3 gay DVDs, movies regarding gay people, and he gave one to his dad, one to his brother, and one to his mom. And they were they were there during the Christmas day, and they were to open the presents. And he said, when they opened the presents, he said to me that they didn't kind of realize what was the idea when they opened the present, and when after they gave the DVDs, he said, "Okay, and I am gay, Merry Christmas." I found so interesting, creative. So, you know what I mean? So imagine, it's going to be forever Christmas Day, this kind of, it's a special moment. I think it's a very, for you to come out, and you need to be very comfortable and very secure of yourself to come out on Christmas Day, because something that's going to follow you forever.
Yeah.
And, it was I just found it very interesting the way he said, and he said that of course there were some tears, and but they were kind of supportive as well, and I just found very interesting like how people can be creative, as you said, about like getting things ready, always nerves, you know what I mean, always is here, cannot talk easily, as you say, it's you know what I mean, it's kind of trapped here in your throat, it doesn't come easily, you know, when it gets to the moments. And I remember coming out to my mom as well. I remember I sent her a WhatsApp test, like a message. I said, "Are you free?" And I was like, "Oh, please don't answer now, don't answer now." And she said, "Yeah. What's going on?" I was like, "Oh my God, let's do it," you know. And I was on and on, and I was kind of going around until get to the moment. So yeah, it's always a task for us, a task, you know, that we need to go through somehow.
And it's something you do all the time in your life. You'll keep coming out no matter what.
Yeah, I like that actually. Yeah. Which question you wouldn't have an answer for?
Which question do I not have an answer for?
You wouldn't have an answer for.
Oh, like there's a lot of those. I guess this question.
People always say that.
No, I guess like I tend to ponder a lot of things, and I like in terms of theological questions, I have lots of opinions. In terms of how to live your life, I have lots of opinions, but I have no answers to say any of these things on that. I'm still relatively young in my life, so I guess questions on how, you know, what you should do with your life are a big thing. I wouldn't know what to say. Like it's all anything large, any large questions. It's like,
yes, I totally agree. I think there are so many questions that, you know what I mean, they're personal as well. Sometimes, you know, there's no like right answer, you know, it's just like something that you don't know, even you don't have an answer for. I agree.
Yeah, I can put you in the right direction, maybe.
Yeah.
But I can never give you an answer on these things.
Chris, I have 3 questions left for you, okay? Let's wait. Right, next question is, what is your least favorite chore?
Least favorite chore. I absolutely despise cleaning the shower and the bathroom. I just hate it. It's just so much work. Like, I'm happy to vacuum. I'm happy to clean down surfaces, but the bathroom and the shower specifically is just the worst. It's so much like elbow grease. You just gotta really just force it in with a brush. That's the one I hate the most.
Good, very good. Right, 2 questions left. For the next one, tell me something that I only can find it in Donegal. I cannot find anywhere else in Ireland. Something local, special, unique.
There's a brand of soda here. I'm pretty sure you can sometimes find it in other places because it's exported a little bit, but it's a bit of a niche one. It's called a company called McDade's do it, and they have this banana soda. It's
never seen.
It sounds really weird. It sounds horrible. It does, but there is a nice taste to it. Now I think that's pretty exclusive to us.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Very interesting. I take that.
That's what most people say. Interesting.
Unique. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Okay, next question is, what is one thing you won and how did you win it?
What thing I won?
You have won, and how did you win it? It's like a prize, something emotional, it's sentimental, can be anything.
Yeah, I guess I haven't won many things in my life. I did win an award for being president of the LGBT Society in college. It was a leadership award. It was my first year of being the president of the LGBT SOC, and I put in a lot of effort in trying to gain new members. So I had a lot of people who saw me in the hallways a lot. A lot of the other club leaders and had seen me as well. And from what I was told afterwards, that everyone was impressed with how much work I put in. don't want to say recruiting, but just like trying to get more members and more interest and spread the people know about the group that was in the college. It was this lovely, it is this lovely crystal vase essentially, with a little stand, a little plaque. They spelled my name wrong though.
Oh.
It's a small error. They forgot one letter of my name, but yeah, no, I have it. It was playing one of the few times I've won an award for anything.
And when did you spot your name was wrong? Did you spot straight away, or you spot like next day, or?
When I got back to the table, it was one of the first things that my friends pointed out to me, and I was like, I felt too awkward to get them to fix it, so it still says my name a little bit wrong. To be honest, I also have like a whole thing where I just didn't feel like I should have gotten the award, like anyone does. It's the imposter syndrome. But no, it's a lovely thing I have. It's a beautiful decoration as well.
Oh, very sweet, very nice. Ready for the next one?
Yes.
Let's do it. Right, so before the last question, tell me, actually I was looking at your profile, you say that you're a baker as well.
Yeah.
What do you like to bake the most?
I love making cookies. I love baking like chocolate chip cookies particularly, because once you've made a batch of cookie dough, you can leave it in the fridge for a few days and then you have cookie dough on demand all the time. I actually have cookie dough in the fridge right now. But they're also so versatile because you don't just have to have chocolate chips. You could have M&Ms or like peanuts or any type of nut, or white chocolate, dark chocolate, and it's so versatile as well, depending on what sugars you use, or white versus brown, or how many eggs or leavening agents you're using. And there's a science behind baking. I love the smell of cookies when they're freshly baked is just amazing.
Amazing, very good. I feel like I love sweets, by the way. Sweet for me is my weakness. Like when I go about cakes or cookies as well. My God, I got these cookies with they have like this chocolate and some salted caramel as well, like in the middle. Oh my Lord, that's my good pleasure. I just like can eat the whole. Like usually they come like 4 or 5. I don't know. Do you have in Ireland as well, like Tesco's or Sainsbury's? Yeah.
In Tesco's, Sainsbury's, not so much. We just have that in the north.
I see, okay, because in Tesco, they have some in Tesco as well, but in Sainsbury, it's just like they've got this one there. When I go there, I try not to go to this section because it's impossible not to pass by and sneak one like like a packet, because it's just delicious. It's one of my good pleasure for sure. Last question for you, Chris. What was the last thing that made you smile?
The last thing that made me smile, what did it say? Besides this entire call, my partner was trying to cheer me up earlier. I was having a bit of a rough morning, and he just was kind of like, he just makes jokes sometimes a little bit, but mostly just him reassuring me and calling me cute things until I start smiling and break. So yeah, like that. Actually, even better was that yesterday I had struggles with getting computers to work again, as they are wont to do with me, and he made an entire effort to ensure that I got to play an online game with all our friends together, and I started smiling throughout the game. It was really nice.
Oh, very sweet. I can see the hearts going out of your head now, talking about your...
The doctor said that was done. I thought that was...
Right, so let's play now the word association game, okay? So I'm going to give away some words, and just tell me one word that comes to your mind, okay? Quick thinking, right? Let's start with politics.
Hate it.
Okay, money.
Sorry, there's so many words coming into my mind. But stuff, toys.
Okay, how about love?
Love, happiness.
Okay, family.
Community.
Life.
Adventure.
Okay, how about sex?
Copious.
Religion.
Uninterested.
Okay, fear.
Fear, motivator.
Friendship?
Strangely enough, love. That's the first one that came to mind.
Regrets?
Despise.
Desire?
Lust.
Success?
Of goals.
Happiness?
Family.
Okay, how about wish?
Wish. Infinity, actually.
Right. And the last one now, Ireland.
Ireland. Home.
Good, great. Right, let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely fiance for a cup of tea and for some cookies baked from you. And I'm going to ask him, tell me the most beautiful thing about Chris and tell me something that he needs to improve on. What do you think your fiance will tell me?
Well, one thing he always says is that I'm just always really kind to people. I'm always trying my best to help and be nice to people, which is also what he would say is the thing I have to work on, is that I sometimes take it too far and I don't protect myself when I do these things. I'm too eager to please. So he would usually say he loves how sweet and kind I am, but he knows that I've always had to work on, and he's helped me work on, managing my ability to help people and protect myself.
Yeah, it makes sense. Sometimes when you're too kind, sometimes you can go to a direction that can affect you and can kind of put in a different mood, a different way, for sure. Okay, let's play now, Chris and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But okay, you can ask me a question now.
Okay, so you said you were in Dublin before. If you were to visit Dublin, like without pandemic obviously involved, what would be the one thing that you didn't do on your last time that you would have to do this time?
Very easy answer. Fun enough, when we were there, there was the, what's the name of the famous beer that's there, the factory that you can.
The Guinness Storehouse.
Yes, this one. We meant to go there, but I think at the time we need to book in advance, or because I don't remember what was the reason, but we couldn't get in. Get in, yeah. And I remember everyone was like, oh my God, it was a must. Everyone was talking about, and we were like, oh my God. And then we thought that we just could get there. I don't remember what it was. I don't think it was sold out, but it was something with the tickets. It was something about the ticket that we couldn't get to do the tour and to get to try the beers and everything. So yeah, it's something that I remember, like at the time we were like, oh, we wish we could have done that. I remember that was something there. And besides that as well, I think at the time when I went to Ireland, it was a group of 4 of us. It was like me, it was one Italian, one Spanish, and a girl from Lithuania. So it was kind of all mixed up. And I remember we spent, actually, because it was just like a short, we went like Saturday morning, came back Sunday evening or something like that. So it was like a short bus, like we just passed very quick. And we enjoyed so much at the time. I remember that we thought it would be like small, like, not too much to do or not too much to see. But as soon as we got there, we just got this beautiful vibe, of a very live city and people around. And we got to Temple Bar, we started meeting people as well, and we were just like, oh my God, there's so much here to do, and we got so into the city, itself. But for sure, next time when I come, I would like to kind of get to explore more the city as well, because when you go for the weekend, you kind of, sometimes you party too much, you drink, and sometimes, you wake up late and you don't see most of the city, so I don't remember. But I remember walking the city as well, and we were very lucky at the time, because as I told you before, it was very warm, and the weather, everyone was like, wow, you're so lucky to go in Dublin, to be there when it's very sunny, and at the time it was February. So yeah, that's something that for sure I'll come back. And again, and maybe I'll step by, like get like a 4 hours drive, and I get to Donegal to eat some cookies.
Oh, you are totally welcome. Or maybe I'll be back in Dublin at that point, and
there you go. Oh, there we go. You're there for so many years. I'm sure you'll know better the city, like each part of the city. So yeah, there we go. You're gonna be my guide again. That's it, when I get there.
Wonderful.
Very good, very good. Chris, did you enjoy the experience? Enjoy the journey?
Yes, I've loved it. It's been so much fun. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thanks. Thanks for, first of all, thanks so much for being ready one day before. Like,
That's just me, honestly.
the version thing. It meant to be today for some reason. I think maybe it would be tomorrow. It would be the same connection, everything. Very good, very good. I'm glad that we managed today. Very, very good. Thank you very much. Before we go, if you don't mind, to share a positive message or positive quote, something that inspires you in life.
Something inspires my life. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just quote my fiance again. It's okay to not be okay. Times are not the best they can be, but it's okay to not be okay with that. And that's an amazing thing to feel.
It's a big comfort to hear that, you know. I think people, when people are going through tough time and like challenging time as well, sometimes you think that you are the only person going through that, and at the end of the day, there are not so many people. There are other people under that as well. And again, as you said, it's okay to be in this mood or in this moment or in this, you know, not to be okay. It's a good one. I quite like as well. When I heard the first time, I was like, oh my God, it's so nice to hear that. Very good, very good. Great. All the best, all the regards to your fiance or your family and you as well. And you keep in touch, okay? Thanks for the interview. I really appreciate it, okay?
Thank you very much, William. Have a wonderful day, all right?
I will. Enjoy your evening, okay? All the best.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.